So, welcome to today's video. We are taking a look at the tropical 12 pen watercolor set from Prima Marketing. Um, they are also known as art philosophy. You are getting a pretty standard 12 half pen metal tin, which is definitely nothing new, nothing special. Probably all of you know this art of tins very well. You can take out the inlay to get some additional mixing space if you really use the set for mixing. You can see how white mine is. I have only once put a little bit of green in it because I don't mix my colors on those tin. I only use um, ceramic or porcelain stuff. But yeah, let's take a closer look at the colors. My set is pretty old, so I've bought it many, many years ago. The colors are not made by the company itself. They have their colors white labeled from a Korean brand under the name Mangyo, which also white labels the colors for the Jane Davenport watercolors. So if you are having sets from Prima Marketing, Jane Davenport, or Mangyo, you will probably have same colors. Under the Mangyo name, the colors are much cheaper than the others. So yeah, the first color here is called Island. Under the Prima Marketing, Art Philosophy, or Jane Davenport brand, we have fancy names like that, or like 70s eyeshadow and hurricane and stuff like that. And Mangyo itself labels it with traditional names like phthalo blue or ultramarine blue and stuff like that. So the Island watercolor is a mixture between PG7, which is a phthalo green, and a PB15 column 3, which is a phthalo blue green shade. It basically looks like a phthalo green, so I guess the phthalo blue amount is very low. They have a 3-star rating and listed as 3 or 3 stars, which is correct with the phthalo pigments. But and that is one major negative point. They are using in all of the 3 names the colors are sold under a very high amount of non-light fast pigments, which are always mislabeled as very light fast pigments. So don't trust any of the light fastness information the sets provide you with. The second color is called Coconut. It's also a mix between PY42, which is a synthetic yellow iron oxide, which is very light fast, but we also have a PY14, which is a not so light fast pigment. So the 3 of 3 stars they have listed it here is not correct because the PY14, and now don't be confused, we have to switch to another light fastness rating, has a 3 to 4, which is very bad in the light fastness rating. So I would say the ratings to the not so light fast pigments, which are mislabeled in the set, with another rating system, because that is the rating system all pigment databases uses. It's with the Roman numbers, and 1 is the best and 5 is the worst. So 3 to 4 is not very good. So this color is not light fast. The next color here is Hurricane, which is a mixture between PB29 ultramarine blue, which is a light fast pigment, and PB27, which is Prussian blue, which is not a light fast pigment. So the 3-star rating here is also not correct because the Prussian blue will fade over time. The colors itself are very high pigmented. You can see it already in the first color that it gets really dark. So that is definitely a plus. You also may have seen it on the brush now, where I swatched the color, that there is a high amount with on color on the brush with only a little bit of scrubbing. You get really much a lot of color on it, so you don't need to pre-wet any of the colors. They are very easily re-wetted. This color here is named Parrot, and they're also listed as 3 stars, which is not correct because the highest amount of pigment in it is the PY14 again, and a little bit of PG7. So this color is not light fast, as is the next color, which is called Hibiscus. All the colors are listed with a 3-star rating, so I will only now tell you which colors are light fast and which colors are not, and which pigment is the reason why it's not light fast, and how the pigment is really rated from companies which do the light fastness rating for pigments. So Hibiscus is a mixture between PO13, which is a not light fast pigment with a rating of 3, and so mediocre, and PR 112, which is a light fast pigment. It is a very towards orange leaning red, a little bit like pyro red or cadmium red light from the color shade. The next color is called Palms, and it is a mixture between PB15 column 3, so our standard phthalo blue green shade again, and also again the PY14, so it is not light fast again. But I think yeah, this color is really redundant because it is so similar to Island. I don't know why from 3 greens included in the set you have to choose 2 which are nearly identical. Doesn't make any sense. You could have put in a sap green or a olive green if you really want to have 3 greens in a 12 pan set. So this is really not a good choice in my personal opinion. It is a little bit different, but it is not so different, and I could have get this effect easily with adding a little bit of more blue in the first color. So the next color is called Pitaya, and it is, from its looks, it reminds a little bit to Crinrose PB19, but this one is made with a PR 57 column 1, which has a light fastness rating of 3, so more mediocre. It will definitely fade partially. In brands which are in cheaper brands, you often see red pigments when you're looking at the number between 40 to 60. You find them a lot in those brands, but you nearly never find those pigments in high quality student grade or artist grade watercolors, because those are all typically not light fast. So the next color is called Reef. It is a PV23, so your basic dioxazine violet. With the dioxazine violet, there is, I've already mentioned it in prior videos, there is a version of the pigment which is very light fast, and there are versions of it which are not very light fast. On handprint, you find a few which are the most light fast, but they are from major brand in an artist grade range. I just remember that the Daniel Smith version is the most light fast version on all the brands. So I can't say it for sure because I didn't test them this version of the color, but for me personally, I always handle it as not completely light fast, so I wouldn't use it on artwork which I want to hang up a wall or gift or so sell or what else, just to be aware of. The next color is called Pineapple, which is made of a PY83. That is at least that is a good light fast rated pigment, because it has a light fast rating from 2, so it is a good. This is the only yellow we get in the set. It is not a lemony yellow, it is a warm yellow, so of course you can use it as a primary yellow, but it is not the perfect version of a primary yellow. So in depending on how good the set is with primary colors or as a starter set, I would say the colors they're chosen are more likely to use as an additional set as an only set, because there are some colors they have chosen which I would not put into a 12-pan starter set. The color selection is not so perfect for that. But as far as I know, the Prima Marketing Art Philosophy watercolors are more intended to use by crafters, card makers, and stuff like the calligraphy artists and stuff like that. So they're not meant to be used as a traditional watercolor set. So the color selection is of course a little bit different, because the needs of a card maker or a calligraphist is different to someone who paints pictures. So the color here is called Sunset, and it is made of a pigment PR81, and that is by far the worst rated color in the whole set, because the real rating of the pigment is a 5 out of 1 to 5. So 5 is the worst light fastness rating you can get. This definitely will fade, probably completely and probably very, very quickly if exposed to light. So yeah, only use it in sketchbook work or adult coloring or something like that, where you close the book and put it in a closet or drawer or something like that. Then we have a color they call Ocean, which is a Prussian blue. It's a PB27, like I mentioned already when we swatched the other blue. That is not a light fast pigment, even when every brand lists it as a perfect light fast pigment. The reason why this mistakes happen is probably due to the fact that the institution which are doing the light fast testing mostly never use watercolors for their testing. They use more like oil color or acrylic colors for that, where you can easily use the color in its mess tone. And as watercolor users, we water down our colors, and colors tend to fade more easily when watered down. That's one of the reasons, probably, why sometimes watercolor colors are different in that department to maybe an oil or an acrylic color or others. Also, of course, we have a transparent medium here, so the exposure to light is higher than in an opaque medium, where the lower parts of the pigments in the color are not that strongly exposed to the light as in a transparent medium like watercolors. At least that is the reason I think maybe makes this strong different in some of the pigments at least. So the last color they call Tiki. It looks, from its color itself, it looks like a burnt umber. It's a mixture between PR101, which is our synthetic red iron oxide, which is a very light fast pigment. Then again, the PY14. They really tend to love this pigment, it seems. And then we have also a PR48 column 4, which has a rating has a 4 in light fastness rating. Sorry, it is very late. Probably should go to bed. So it is very, very bad in light fastness rating. And a PBK9, which is an ivory black, which is made of burnt animal bones. So all vegans, this set definitely is not vegan friendly, just to be aware of. So yeah, that are all the colors. If you are asking my opinion about the colors and the set itself, as a primary or starter set, it is not the perfect color choice in here. We tend to lack on the blues and the yellows very much. We have two similar greens, which is not ideal. And we don't have a burnt sienna-like color, for example. So that is also something I not like so much in a color choice. At least we have an ochre color, we have a burnt umber. We don't have any blacks, which is okay. You can easily mix them yourself. We don't have any white in it, which is perfect in my opinion. So how the colors perform, I've worked with them a lot already in the last years. So they're really, really nice to work with. They are great when it comes to how you can layer them and how you can work with them. But like I said, the biggest negative point is the light fastness rating. They use so many pigments which are really really bad in their light fastness rating. They have a lot of convenience mixes and not so much single pigment colors. For example, the Hurricane. Why haven't they just made it a single pigment PB29 ultramarine blue? We have Prussian blue in the set. We could have easily combined the two. So that is also something I don't understand. And yeah, so overall, like I said, I've bought the sets, these and the others, many, many years ago, where I had no clue about light fastness or pigments. Would I buy any of those sets again? Definitely no, I wouldn't. Because the light fastness rating is a big point for me nowadays. If I can get a set which has a perfect light fast rating, which costs the same, why should I buy the not light fast one? That's one point. The second is, I don't know how the prices are in different part of the world, but in Germany the sets sell for around 35 to 40 euros, which is not very cheap in my opinion. At least the Prima Marketing, like I said, if you buy it from under the name Myungyo, which are basically the same colors, they are cheaper, but not so cheap. For example, why should I buy this set where I get 12 half pans with a bed light fastness when I could buy a 12, not a 12, 28 full pan set artist grade colors from Rosa Gallery, which have more colors, which have much more colors in the department of volume. You get a huge amount of color in comparison, and I have a very good light fastness rating, and I have a lot of single pigment colors. For example, Rosa Gallery has a 12 full pan set single pigment set, which is a set I really, really love and like to use it as a travel set. You get a perfect split primary plus some additional colors in the same size of the tin. So yeah, that's why I wouldn't buy colors from Prima Marketing, from Wangyu, or from Jane Davenport again. If you already have them, no problem. You can definitely use them. Like I said, from how they perform, I really like them. And that's the reason I've bought so many of the different sets in the past, because the performance was very good. And at that time, we didn't have any, I never heard of Rosa Gallery, for example, before, and not have had such high quality, low performing, low priced watercolors like Rosa Gallery or Roman Schmal, for example, which are at least same priced or much cheaper, and much better in quality, color choices, pigment choices, and stuff like that. So yeah, that is my personal opinion. I would really, really love to know if you have one of the sets. If it doesn't matter if it's under which brand name it is, because like I said, the colors are the same. How do you like them? What is your experience with them? And yeah, would you buy them again, or after the video, would you consider buying one of the sets from any of the brands? Thank you so much that you have watched this video. I hope you have enjoyed it and that it was helpful for you. And I would very much appreciate a thumbs up or a follow, because it so much helps me with the channel. Thank you so much, and hope to see you soon in another video. Bye bye.